Hello, good morning students. Today's topic of class is lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, it is a part of circulatory system only. First see the competency or the objectives, learning objectives of this class. So at the end of this class, you must know, you should be able to describe lymphatic circulation. What is lymphatic circulation? Describe the formation of lymph, how the lymph is formed, and you should be able to describe the functions of lymphatic system. Okay, now we'll proceed. First, introduction of lymphatic system. Lymphatic system, it is a part of circulatory system only. Okay, and its importance is that it drains excess fluid from the interstitial spaces. Okay, in our previous class, that is a formation of tissue fluid, we discussed that the spaces between the cell, that is the interstitium, where the tissue fluid is formed. Okay, and once this fluid is formed, that extra fluid, some of fluid is reabsorbed in the capillary, but the excess fluid, that is drained into the lymphatic system by the lymphatic capillaries. Okay, so this lymphatic system, it acts as a accessory route through which lymph flows from interstitial spaces into the blood. Okay, it is an accessory route. And finally, this interstitial fluid, that is called the lymph, it is drained into the circulatory system. Okay, so it carries the lymph, and with that lymph it also carries the proteins and large molecules away from the tissue spaces, interstitium. So the large molecules and the proteins cannot taken back into the capillaries, they cannot diffuse into the capillary. So these large molecules, for example, bacteria are there, toxins are there, foreign particles are there, proteins are there, these are taken away by the lymphatic system to the circulatory system. And see the importance of the lymphatic system. What is the importance of lymphatic system? Lymphatic system is an essential function without which we would die within about 24 hours. So person cannot live more than 24 hours without lymphatic system. This is the importance of the lymphatic system. So it is very much required. Without lymphatic system, one cannot sustain more than 24 hours. Okay, in addition to that, it drains the excess fluid. In addition to that, it is also a major route for the absorption of nutrients from the GIT. Maximum nutrients, it is absorbed or it is taken by the blood capillaries. Okay, but some nutrients like fats and fat soluble vitamins, these are absorbed from the GIT into the lymphatic system, and then finally it is drained into the circulatory system. Okay, this is the importance. Lymphatic vessels are present in all tissue. Okay, it is present everywhere in the body, all tissue, except that is a superficial layer of the skin, CNS, corona, sorry, not corona, cornea, alveoli of the lungs. So this is a part of the body where there is no lymphatic vessels. Okay, no lymphatic capillaries. Okay, so this is the importance. Now we'll see the structure of lymphatic system in the next slide. Structure of lymphatic system and formation of the lymph. Okay, so lymphatic system, it is made up of, there are the lymphatic vessels, lymph nodes, lymphoid organs, lymphoid tissues, including the lymph, that is a fluid in the vessel is called the lymph, is called the lymphatic system. And if you see the vessels of lymphatic system, okay, these lymphatic vessels are lined by the endothelial cells and thin layer of smooth muscle. Means vessels, it is made up of the smooth muscle, and the inner layer is lined by the endothelial cells. Okay, now see the special arrangement of these endothelial cells in the lymphatic capillaries. These endothelial cells in the lymphatic capillaries are attached by the anchoring filament to the connective tissue. So how it is attached, I will show the diagram. So this special arrangement, in this slide, students see the lymphatic system. It's a network of lymphatic vessels in the body, how they are arranged. I told that lymphatic system is made up of the lymphatic vessel, then lymph nodes, lymphoid tissue, hmm, lymphoid organs, it is called. So in this diagram, you can see cervical nodes, then sensual nodes, then here right lymphatic duct, okay, the right lymphatic thoracic duct, where the lymph is collected from the lower part of the body. Okay, the lymph is collected in thoracic duct. Then from the right side and the upper part of the body, the right side and upper part of the body, the lymph is collected into the right lymphatic duct. Okay, and then finally it is drained into the circulation. Okay, in this diagram you can also see the lymph nodes, that is where the lymph nodes are located. These are the cervical nodes, then these are the axillary nodes, okay, here. Then see the abdominal nodes, okay, then here inguinal nodes. Okay, so see the location of the nodes. It is like round color tissues are located. These are the nodes, and these are, will go there, the lymphatic nodes, but see first their location, where they are located. Then see the peripheral lymphatics, these are peripheral vessels. Okay, now coming to the structure of lymphatic capillary, we are talking about the lymphatic capillaries, and you know the, yeah, endothelial cells is a structure of lymphatic capillary, is a special arrangement of endothelial cells. These endothelial cells are attached by the anchoring filament to the connective tissue. See here, this anchoring filament, and this anchoring filament, it is attached to the connective tissue, means it is supported here. Okay, and the edges, that is the edges of endothelial cells, okay, their edges are overlapped, and you know they are overlapped to each other, and it forms the walls. So minute walls are formed. See everywhere, each endothelial cell, it is, their edge is overlapped, and it forms the walls. Okay, and you know these walls uh, open to the interior of the lymphatic capillary. Okay, so if you see the opening of this wall, it is from outer to the interior, from outside to the inside. Okay, and in this way the it prevents the backflow of the fluid from capillary to the outwards. So the walls open to the interior, and it prevents the backflow of the lymph to the interstitium. This is outside is the interstitium, and the fluid, it flows from tissue spaces into the capillary through this wall, and these walls, it prevents the backflow. So this is a very important function of endothelial cell, because capillaries are lined, inner line, the capillaries endothelial cell, these are supported by the anchoring filament to the connective tissue. Okay, and here we can say that the, in this way, the how the lymph is formed, the lymph is formed that the interstitial fluid that flows directly into the lymphatic capillary. Okay, and this fluid once entered in the capillary, it is called the lymph. Okay, so this is a simple structure. There is a flow from outside to the inside. Okay, and in this way the lymph is formed. Okay, so formation of lymph. In this diagram you can see the how these capillaries there are different segments are there. Capillaries comes together, and these are the walls. Here also the walls are there which prevent the backflow, and it also prevent the outflow. Okay, and these capillaries comes together and it forms the collective collecting lymphatic vessels. Okay, so collecting lymphatic vessels, again this all comes together and finally drain their lymph into the lymphatic duct. Okay, now see, uh, if you see the lymph, just we discuss the lymph is formed, and in this lymph, if you see the protein concentration, if we take all lymph together of the all lymph of the body together, and the average protein concentration in the lymph is 2 gram per deciliter. Okay, but if you see particularly the lymph formed in liver, the protein concentration is 6 gram per deciliter. Okay, and the lymph formed in the intestine, where the protein concentration is 3 to 4 gram per deciliter. Okay, if you see the mixture of lymph in the thoracic duct, because you know the in thoracic duct the lymph is collected from the lower side, uh, and also the left side of the head. Okay, where the if you see in the thoracic duct, all lymph vessels from the lower part of the body empties into the thoracic duct, and if you see the protein concentration in thoracic duct, it is 3 to 5 gram per deciliter. Just remember these figures because in MCQs, those students they have MCQs, it can be asked for the MCQs, the protein concentration and an average, then in liver. Okay, because in liver there is a protein synthesis, it occurs, then as a nutrients it is absorbed in the intestine, then if you see the mixture in the thoracic duct. Okay, the protein concentration. Okay, keep in mind. Okay, now see how it is collected. You know, all lymph vessels that collect lymph, they from the uh, lower part of the body into the thoracic duct, then lymph from the left side of the head, then left arm and part of the chest empties into the thoracic duct. Okay, so in addition to the lower part, this part, their lymph it also collected in the thoracic duct. Okay, then lymph from right side of the neck, head, the right arm and the parts of right thorax, it enters into the right lymph duct, lymphatic duct. Okay, and in this all lymph in turn then empties into the venous blood. Okay, so this is how it is finally drained into the circulatory system. Total lymph formation is per day, total lymph formation is 2 to 3 liters. Okay, so this is a how much lymph it forms. Normally it is 2 to 3 liters, or it is about 120 ml per hour lymph is formed. Okay, so we'll continue. uh, See the effect of interstitial pressure on lymph formation. Okay, or lymph flow. Any increase in interstitial pressure, that is a pressure in the interstitium, there is increase in lymph flow or lymph formation. Okay, you know, in the lymphatic in the interstitium, that is in interstitial space, the pressure is normally it is negative, that is it is about -6 millimeter of Hg in the interstitium. So pressure, hydrostatic pressure in the interstitium is -6 millimeter of mercury. Okay, and when it is increased to the towards the positive side, or when it is increased up to the 0 millimeter of the mercury, then lymph flow increases more than 20 folds. Okay, so see the lymph flow, lymph formation, it reaches up to the 20 fold, because lymphatic system, the one of the important function is that to maintain the negative pressure in the interstitium, and that helps to hold the tissue together, cells together. Due to the negative pressure only, the cells are held together, so negative pressure is maintained. But due to the any reason, if the interstitial fluid pressure it increases towards the positive side, and for example if it is reached up to the 0, then the lymph formation it increases by 20 folds. Okay, this is a effect of interstitial fluid pressure. In addition to that, other factors which increases the lymph formation, these are, the Starling forces. These are also disturb the this thing and increases the lymph formation. For example, elevated capillary hydrostatic pressure. Any increase in hydrostatic pressure, any increase in capillary pressure, it increases lymph formation. Then decrease plasma colloid osmotic pressure. The colloid osmotic pressure, it is a negative pressure. And if there is decrease in plasma protein concentration, there is decrease in negative pressure, and that leads into the more filtration of the fluid to the interstitium. Then increased interstitial colloid osmotic pressure. That is when there is more accumulation of the proteins in the interstitium, that increases the colloid osmotic pressure. And colloid osmotic pressure, it acts as a negative, and it causes the more filtration or the absorption of the fluid from capillary into the interstitium. In addition to that, increase the permeability of the capillary. If the capillary permeability increase, then also there is more filtration of fluid, and there is more formation of lymph. Okay, so lymph flow it increases. So I will show the one graph is there, and that shows the when interstitial fluid pressure is increased, the and when it becomes 1 to 2 millimeter of mercury, then the lymph flow fail to rise. Okay, furthermore, means what is the effect of the pressure? Increase in pressure, there is increase in lymph flow, and it increases up to the 20 folds. But when the interstitial fluid pressure is increased up to the 1 to 2 millimeter of the mercury, then there is no more increase in the rate of formation of lymph flow. Okay, so one diagram is there. So here you try to understand. So here this is the lymph flow, relative lymph flow, and this side it indicates the interstitial fluid pressure. Okay, this pressure is normally it is minus 6 millimeter of mercury, and the lymph flow is 1. Okay, we can say that 1 unit is the lymph flow. But any increase in interstitial fluid pressure, it leads into the increase in lymph flow or the lymph formation. Okay, and I told that when it is increased up to the 0, then lymph flow or the lymph formation it increases 20 folds, about the 20 folds. And when the interstitial fluid pressure it is increased 1 to 2 millimeter of the mercury, then there is the rise will be sustained. There is no more increase or the lymph flow to fail to rise further. Okay, we'll get the straight line, uske zyada lymph flow nahi badhta, and that is sustained stage will come. That is, we can say that the maximum here it got the maximum rate of flow, lymph flow at this line when the tissue fluid pressure it is increased up to the 1 to 2 millimeter of mercury. Okay, so here up to this point we studied the formation of the lymph and the rate of flow of lymph. Okay, here see how the movement of lymph it occurs in lymphatic vessel. Okay, so lymph formation is there, and once it is formed, the lymph it moves towards the that is towards the thoracic duct or lymphatic duct. Okay, and how the movement of the lymph it occurs, it is occurred by the lymphatic pump. Okay, so lymphatic vessel, the pump is developed, pump is occur, and there are the two factors, that is a intrinsic factor and extrinsic factor. So what are, how the intrinsic contraction it occurs? Okay, so when, you know, when the vessel becomes stretched, when the lymph is entered in the vessel, that is particularly in capillary and vessel, then it becomes stretched with the fluid and vessel automatically contracts. Okay, so you know vessel is made up of endothelial cell and smooth muscle, and if there is accumulation of the fluid, and if the vessel gets stretched, so what will happen, there is a constriction, that is a vessel get constricted, and uh, like this, each segment, that is a between two walls, that means, you know, walls is made up of the edges of endothelial cells, and one endothelial cell, that is it forms the one segment. Okay, and each segment between the two walls act as a separate pump, मीन जो कॉन्ट्रैक्शन होता है वो अलग अलग सेगमेंट का अलग अलग होता है. इफ द फ्लूइड इज मूव्ड फर्दर, there it causes a stretching in that segment and leads into the contraction of that particular segment. Okay, so we can say that slight filling of the segment with the lymph causes it to contract, so thus the fluid pumps to the next segment, and in this way it flows to the next segment. Okay, thus process continuing all along the lymph vessel until the fluid is finally emptied into the blood circulation. So this, the pumping process, that is a contraction process in every segment, it is continuing and till the fluid is drained into the blood circulation, that is into the venous system, okay, of the circulation. This is a intrinsic factor of contraction. What is the external factors which causes the lymphatic pump? Some external factors also help to press, to compress the lymphatic vessel, and these external factors are, for example, contraction of surrounding skeletal muscle. So when body is doing the movement and movements, it causes the contraction of the skeletal muscle, and it also helps to compress the lymphatic vessel. And you know, in lymphatic vessel there are the walls, so walls prevent the backflow. Okay, so at every segment there are the walls, and walls prevent the backflow, so there is a unidirectional flow, and when compression it occurs, whether it is intrinsic or extrinsic, it causes the movement of the fluid, forward movement of the fluid. Okay, this is contribution of skeletal muscle. Also movements of the parts of the body, it helps. Then also the pulsation of arteries adjacent to the lymphatics, you know, the pulsation of the arteries, it also helps for the movement of the limb. Okay, then also the compression of the tissue by objects outside the body. Even the objects from the outside of the body, when compress the tissue, it also helps to move the lymph to the forward direction. So like this, the movement of lymph it occurs. Okay, and finally it is drained into the circulation. Students, see the summary of the factors which determine the lymph flow. So what factors determine the lymph flow? Mainly two factors are there, two primary factors that determine the lymph flow, and these are, one is the how much lymph is formed, it is, or how much lymph it flows towards the circulation. It is determined by, first factor is the interstitial fluid pressure. Just we discuss, any increase in interstitial fluid, it leads into the increase in lymph flow. That is, interstitial fluid is directly proportional, interstitial fluid pressure is directly proportional to the rate of lymph flow. Okay, but it is up to the certain level. Okay, that means up to the, when the pressure it is increased up to the 1 or 2 millimeter of mercury. Second factor is the activities of the lymphatic pump. Just we discuss intrinsic and extrinsic contraction. So that pumps, how much pump it occurs, that also decides how much lymph it flows. Okay, so finally we can say that The rate of lymph flow is determined by the product of interstitial fluid pressure times the activity of the lymphatic pump. Okay, so how much the rate is, it is decided by the product of interstitial pressure and activity of lymphatic pump. Okay, now students, will go in the next slide. There is a functions of lymphatic system. So we discuss what is lymphatic system, that is a structure. We discuss how much protein is there in the lymph and how the flow, lymph flow formation it occurs. We discuss how the lymph it moves, that is a movement by lymphatic pumps. Now see the functions. So functions are of the lymphatic system are, the first function is regulation of interstitial fluid protein concentration. Okay, so it is very important function because the lymphatic system is the only route that drain the large molecules and proteins from the interstitial fluid. Okay, that is in the interstitium, so spaces between the cell. Otherwise what will happen, if this protein molecules, if it's accumulated there in the interstitium, and what will happen, you know, the proteins is it causes the colloid osmotic pressure, it increases the colloid osmotic pressure, and it will lead into the edema, that is accumulation of the fluid. Okay, so this protein concentration, it should be maintained low. So here the proteins are drained from the, that is very important function, otherwise tissue will lead into the uh, development of edema. Okay, then second function is regulation of tissue fluid volume. Okay, so if the tissue fluid volume increase, again it is called the edema, and the swelling of the tissue it occurs. So lymphatic system, it maintains -6 millimeter of the mercury pressure, that is a negative pressure in the interstitium, and that means the interstitial fluid volume is very less, and that is maintained. Okay, because this less volume and negative pressure, the, that is a interstitial fluid pressure is negative -6, this negative pressure is required to hold the tissue or to hold the cells together, because cells are not attached to each other, but they are held together by negative interstitial fluid pressure, and this volume, the pressure and the protein concentration, it is maintained by the lymphatic system. This is very great function of the lymphatic system. And initially in our introduction we discussed that without lymphatic system the person cannot sustain more than 24 hours. Our person will die within about 24 hours without the function of lymphatic system. It indicates the how the lymphatic system it is important. Okay, so in the next slide student, we'll continue with the one something about the lymph nodes. Okay, lymph nodes, you know that it is a part of lymphatic system, and these lymph nodes are very important as far as concern the immune system of the body. Okay, so what are these lymph nodes? These are the small glandular structure located in the course of lymphatic vessels. You know their location और diagram में हमने देखा है, initially I show the diagram where the lymph nodes are located. Okay, and first what is a lymph node? This node is, it is a small glandular structure. Okay, and it is very important in immune system. So where it is located, the lymph nodes are, for example, these are mainly present in elbow. Okay, lymph nodes in elbow, axilla, then knee and groin. Then lymph nodes are also present around the neck, then in the area of abdomen, in abdominal lymph nodes are there, then they are present at the thoracic region, the thorax also lymph nodes are there. Okay, and these lymph nodes are also called the lymphatic nodes, lymph nodes or lymphoid nodes. The different words are used. Lymphoid nodes, you can say that, then lymphatic nodes or the or lymph nodes. Okay, so what is the importance of these nodes? These nodes serve as a filter which filter the bacteria and toxic substances. That means when the lymph it flows from periphery towards the circulatory system, the the lymph nodes are in between, and it removes the bacteria and toxic substances before it enters into the main circulation. So this is very, in case there is an infection or in case the toxin substances are entered in the body. Okay, so these toxin substances or the bacteria are removed by lymph nodes before it enters into the circulation. The bacteria and other toxic substances are destroyed by macrophages of the lymph nodes. There are the macrophages. These are the uh, large monocytes are there, and these works as a macrophages which engulf the bacteria and destroy it. It also destroys the toxin substances and remove the toxin. So in this way lymph node it helps, and in this way their location, their function, how it works. So simply it acts as a filter. It filters the bacteria and toxic substances. Okay, now see in the next slide, uh, when the lymph nodes get swelling, आपने देखा होगा कि जब भी कुछ इंजरी हो जाता है, इन्फेक्शन हो जाता है, तो swelling of lymph nodes it occurs depending on the location of infections or injury, or the swelling it occurs. Okay, so armpit में हम हमेशा आप देखते हैं कि swelling आ जाता है. So see this swelling when it occurs. For example, skin infection of the arm. Skin infection of the arm, it causes the swelling of lymph nodes in armpit. Okay, so whatever the types of infection, viral infection, bacterial infection, it comes to the lymph nodes, and depending on its concentration, okay, number of how much is the infection is there, it leads lymph nodes may leads into the its swelling. Okay, then tonsillitis or throat infection causes the swelling of lymph nodes in neck. Okay, in neck area. And infection of genital organs or leg, it result in the swelling of lymph nodes in a groin, that where the lymph nodes are located. So infection of particularly genital organ or legs. Okay, then viral infection, so anywhere in the body, viral infection causes swelling of the lymph nodes in a various part of the body depending on their location. Okay, and cancer in particular region may spread in nearby lymph nodes, and it causes the swelling. Cancer, if it is not detected if early detection is not there, and if it spread, it particularly once it is spread to the lymph nodes, then it causes the swelling of the lymph nodes, and it can spread all over the body. Okay, here the examples of this swelling due to the cancer. The throat cancer may spread it in lymph may spread in the lymph node in the neck area. Okay, so throat cancer, uh, it can causes the swelling of lymph nodes in the neck. Then lung cancer, it causes the swelling of, or it spread in the lymph nodes in the chest. Okay, that is a thorax lymph nodes. Then breast cancer, it causes the swelling of lymph nodes in armpit. Then intestinal cancer, it causes the swelling of lymph nodes in abdomen. And lymphomas, it is a cancer of blood, we can say that it causes the lymph nodes, the swelling of the lymph nodes in many parts of the body. Okay, so in this way the swelling of the lymph nodes it occurs because of the different infections or even the cancerous condition. Okay, so students, here we discuss what are the types of the lymph nodes, where they are located, and when their swelling it occurs. okay, and what are their functions. Okay, then next slide is the last slide, and the last slide see the functions of the limb. You know, the formation of the fluid or the interstitial fluid, once it is entered in the lymphatic vessel, then it is called the lymph. So what are the overall functions? Because during the discussion already we discussed the function, but just the points are collected. Okay, the points are collected. So what are the general function? The lymph flow maintain the structural and functional integrity of the tissue. So I told that the negative pressure in the interstitium is important. Okay, then volume of the interstitial pressure is important, and it is required to hold the tissue together. That is the structure and functional integrity of tissue. The lymph flow to remove the interstitial fluid is important, and it is with the help of to lymph flow to return the proteins from tissue spaces into the blood. You know, proteins are those large molecules of the proteins cannot be drained away from the tissue into the capillary, and these large particles, the molecules, are drained through the lymphatic vessel into the brain, sorry, into the blood. It supplies, so another important is it supplies the nutrition and oxygen to those part where the blood cannot reach. Okay, so jahan blood nahi jata, for example the cartilage, the cartilage, for cartilage the source of the nutrients, that is the oxygen and nutrients, is through the lymph only. Okay, then next function, the bacteria, toxins, and other foreign bodies are removed from the tissue via the lymph. Okay, so there is no other route to remove these large molecules, foreign bodies, toxins, and bacteria. These are only removed by lymph. Okay, the next function is distribution of the fluid in the body. So if the fluid is increased at the one side, okay, and for you know, कभी हम patient saline लेता है, then it is maybe the intravenous or outside injection लिया, तो जहाँ भी fluid accumulate होता है, that is distributed in the body. जहाँ भी wherever the fluid is accumulated in the body, it is distributed to the other part. Okay, so it helps for distribution of the fluid. Then it also helps to transport RBCs, WBCs, and antibodies to the tissue. Okay, you know, this is very important function. Just I told, in the cartilage, where the blood is not reached, the WBC is transported, sorry, RBC is transported there to provide the oxygen. Okay, then also we discuss the lymphoid system. It also acts, it plays a very important role in immune system. Okay, and you know, the macrophages, that is a large WBC, particularly monocytes. Okay, once entered in the lymph node, it becomes the macrophages, and it helps in the immune system, that is to protect the body from the invaders, that is a foreign uh, foreign antigens or the infectious agents. Okay, then we take the antibodies. Okay, so antibodies develop in the body, and it may be due to the vaccine or whatever the reason, that is useful antibodies are distributed to the tissue through the via the lymph. Okay, last function, students, lymph flow serve as a important route for intestinal fat absorption. So this last function, you know, the most of the nutrients from the GIT is absorbed in the blood, that is in the blood capillaries. But few nutrients like the fats, molecules of the fats, and what fat soluble vitamins. So fat soluble vitamins, these are particularly absorbed in the lymph. Okay, and it then flows towards the uh, blood through the lymphatic vessel. So in this way, these are the very important functions of lymphatic system. Okay, so question can be asked, describe the lymphatic system in detail. So under this answer, what you have to describe, you should be able to describe the introduction, structure, limb formation, lymph flow, lymphatic function, and also add a note on what is the role of lymph nodes, particularly their location, types, and its role in immunity. Okay, so in this way, you can write the answer. Students, will stop here. It's the end of this lecture. If you have any doubt, any difficulties, you can ask me later on or you can react. Okay, thank you.